Hi, this is Draco, and I'm going to be playing Death Road to Canada. For those who don't know what this game is, it's kind of similar to the free title Oregon Trail, which is a parody of Oregon Trail, but just with zombies. So, if you think about it, this is kind of I wouldn't call it a spiritual successor, but it's pretty darn fun. I've only played a little bit of this, so I don't know all the ins and outs, but I think that this will be a fun time. So let's go and get stuck in. Alright, I made some custom characters earlier. So that's me, and that's anime, so don't worry about that. Alright. So basically the way it works is that you go and you travel with your friend to get to Canada, because according to the game, Canada is a safe place, as we know from real life. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to have to ration supplies, get ammunition, and fight off zombies the whole time while trying to get to Canada. So let's get in there. Starts you out with some basic supplies, but gotta make your decisions. So yeah, you get choices of where to scavenge. So we can either go to Yalmart or Quiet Hotel. I usually, in my last couple times, I went to Yalmart because there's a lot of food on the shelves and stuff typically, so I think we're gonna go ahead and go there. Alright, it always starts you off with pretty, there's 3 different factors that affect the zombies. There's swarm size, which is pretty self-explanatory. There's aggression, which means how long it takes for them to notice when you're within proximity, and also like how long it takes for them after you attack them. And then time makes it both harder to see, and also it tends to increase swarm size, so you gotta be wary of that. Alright, and you can choose either character to lead, doesn't really matter, but they both have hidden stats that you start out with at the beginning of the game. And based on the jobs you pick, you get different stat boosts, as well as the personality gives them slightly different abilities and whatnot. And then obviously some flavor text and whatnot. Alright, so right now we've got my guy, who is for all intents and purposes, he's a doctor, which basically just means health kits are a little bit better. And then we got her as a fighter, which means she's a little bit stronger. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go loot this place. So let's get in. Alright. Yeah, you can pick up objects and throw it at zombies, which is pretty neat. Alright. Knife. Extra weapons never hurt. You want to break the skeletons early game if you can, because they can drop these bones, which are pretty nice, because the extra weapons never hurt. I think my guy might have a low starting strength stat, which isn't quite good, but we can work with it. Yeah, you can find fuel in the toilets. I'm never sure why. You can also find one single bullet, so I think that's supposed to be some sort of naughty joke. Because, okay, actually, I'm not gonna even bother go into that. There's all sorts of these little like jokes here and there. It's kind of it knows what the game knows what it is, which I can appreciate. So far, not having too much luck with the old supplies here. I was hoping I'd find a little more fuel. Ooh, those are some rifle bullets. There's 3 kinds of guns in this game. There is guns that use small bullets, usually like pistols, and there's like an Uzi. There is shotguns, and then there is rifles. Shotguns have a spread, but the bullets are not particularly strong unless you hit with a bunch of them at once. The pistol-related guns are not very strong, however they fire very quickly. And then there is the rifles, which are very, very strong, but the trade-off is that they take forever to reload, like absolutely forever. So if you're swarmed, you're better off almost not using it. Unless you have a lot of range to deal with, it's not quite worth it. looks like that is a bust. Yeah, so go ahead and call it there, because fortunately we had bad drops. Alright, I don't think there's any cars to siphon out here. Yeah, you can siphon off of certain cars. I've only ever seen it in the missions where you have to go get another car, since your main car can break, and you'll have to walk down the road until you eventually find another one, like a random event. And you really, really don't want to walk in this game, because bad stuff happens when you walk. Like, it actually tells you just right there. Okay. Apartments are pretty good. Strength and fitness gym would probably have some form of food, and then it would also most likely have decent weapons, but the apartment's more likely to have more general supplies, so I think it's probably better to go with that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trade... Actually, she can probably just keep the axe, really, because this has got low durability. Same thing with the knife. Cleaver lasts forever, honestly, but... Alright, let's go. Yeah, this is a relatively fast game if you know what you're doing. The first time I played, I was very, very slow, and I died pretty much right here because I didn't have any idea what I was doing. This game has a lot of like little things that you don't immediately realize. Oh, doggo. Hi, dog. Nice shotguns, some food. I've never actually found the dog. I've seen them in like recruitable ones. You can recruit ones in these little rest areas that you can see every once in a while. You can see every once in a while, but for the most part, I have never seen like just a free dog essentially. Yeah, like one thing you can do is you can actually close doors behind you, which is really good because zombies are stupid and they will instead try to break down the door, which can give you a little time to escape. Or you can barricade yourself in a room, for example, and instead of going and like trying to run through the crowd, which will almost certainly get you at least very damaged, if not killed, you can instead go ahead and try to fight in a more advantageous position, like a corner. Not looking so good on the old fuel. Yeah, cars, basically what happens, there's two ways you can have your car abandoned. You can destroy it, or you can run out of fuel. I think certain events can also take it away as well, but those are very rare. The game tries to not just straight up take everything away from you for the most part. There's like bandits who can, but for the most part, the game is fairly kind, at least in the early game. I've not actually beaten the main game yet, because it gets really, really punishing towards the end if you make even one mistake. Ooh, got some goodies. Yeah, food's good. And if this oven's not looted... No, it is. Okay, no fuel. Nothing. Yeah, for the most part, it's not really worth breaking any of the furniture. Ooh, that's a... Oh, that's kind of... Okay, hold on. Just go ahead and trade off some items here. Take that. Yeah, you want to be cycling through, like, your shittier items. Because you don't need to use everything, really, but, like... I like to, like, not waste weapons, because, like, certain weapons, if you don't need certain guns, for example, there's traders who will buy them from you, which is quite nice. But that's mostly just guns. I haven't seen anyone who buys knives. I think I'm gonna try to get through some of this without fighting, because in the early game, they're quite weak. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's go to the door. And you'll see they'll try to break that door down. They're most likely gonna do it while I'm exploring the rest of this apartment. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention is, your characters, they can get tired, and they can get tired through two means. If you swing your weapon too much, they'll get tired because, you know, like you're physically overexerting yourself. Or if you do not sleep the prior night, because there's like a day-night cycle, then your character will get tired. And what that does is it both makes it so you swing a lot slower, and it also gives you a random stat debuff, which is no good. So like if you tried to like shoot something, it'd make your accuracy like way lower, and that's no good. Let's see, that's probably just fuel. Yep. It's not looking good on the fuel territory here. Like I said before, walking in this, it's a death sentence for the most part. It's basically what's killed almost every run I've had. I've only actually been killed by zombies like twice. Like what happens a lot of the time is I will get massively hurt on the overworld because the game actively punishes you for not having a car. And although it does give you like little side missions to give you a car back, getting to them, you have to live to get to it, you know? Like, you can't just bullshit your way to it. Because eventually you're going to take enough damage that you just straight up die, which is, you know, unfortunate, but... That dog's... What the fuck? It's like fucking Rambo, just carrying the knife in his teeth. That's awesome. It's like D-Dog. It's not worth it. Okay. And not worth it. Oh shit. Yeah, one time I was so sad, but I accidentally locked her inside of a different room, and a swarm just destroyed her, and I felt so bad. I was audibly like, no. Yeah, this game is relatively easy in the early game, but it gets really difficult. And one thing I actually really like is you can actually, if you're in a shit situation, you can straight up ditch your car if you really, really need to. But I would never suggest doing that because you're basically shooting yourself in the foot at that point. Alright, let's book it. Let's keep Doggo. Yeah. Probably gonna regret that choice. But let's do it. Let's lift the tree. It stinks. Oh, that's bad, actually. Oh. No. Eh, whatever. What a shit dog. He wasn't D-Dog. It wasn't my diamond dog. Ooh, okay. So what happens is the Ouija board, it will give you some information, essentially, or give you, like, some items. Like, for example, if you choose that, it tells you the team's loyalty. If you choose that, I believe it gives you more gas, question mark? I can't remember. And then this just gives you, like, a stack of loot. But the issue is it fucks with your stats, like, really, really bad. So just don't even bother. It's not worth it. Oh, okay, trader camps are really good, actually. Because, essentially, trader camps are good for a couple reasons. First of all, you can get some good stuff from here. Like, for example, you can get food by trading your various wares. You can trade guns you don't need. Okay, so... I doubt I'm gonna have anything she actually cares for. Okay, so Clarita has a charm stat, or charm ability, which basically, like, she can, like, sweet talk her way out of certain situations and that sort of thing. And what happened is I can use that to get free things. So, for example, she just got a little more strong because she charmed him, which is good because she got the debuff from earlier when we tried to lift the tree. So that'll help a little bit. Yeah, that's not good. That's a bad trade. Because bullets, the guns also have durability. It's very high, but it does go down. So I'm not gonna bother with it. Do what I want. That stinks. Okay, not happening. Ooh, okay, I would like that actually. 'Cause I can store that for later if I think I'm gonna need it. Because there's times where there will be a very hard situation, like there's events, essentially, where the game says, no, it's time, and you can do nothing about it. However, something like that can really change the tide of battle, so it would be very good to hang on to that. I'm also going to store some of my leftovers. Keep a femur on me because the durability on bones is quite low, so it'll break in a little while anyways. One thing I really hate is that the more damage your car gets, the harder it will be for the engine to go. So sometimes the car can take like forever and stall, and you'll have basically the zombies will attack it. And I've heard the car can actually explode, and I don't know if that's lethal or not. New person. Okay, we don't have enough food, to be honest, so it's not worth it. Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about. So, yeah. So this is a siege. And essentially, you're trapped in a tiny little arena for 1 in-game hour, which is like a minute and a bit, and then you can just escape. It's late morning, which means they should be super aggressive. I think I'm gonna take the hammer, switch that, and just in case your weapon breaks, here, you go ahead and do that. Medkit, useful. I actually haven't gotten like truly hit yet. Like you can take a little chip damages, but I haven't actually like taken real damage yet. Chairs are good because you can save a little bit of durability, and they also actually do drop weapons if you need it. It's just like a plank of wood, but if you don't have anything else, it's way better than your fists unless you're a monk, I believe. Because I think there's a class called the monk, which it gets a two-handed bare-handed attack, which is pretty good sounding, but the only issue with the monk is you can't fire a gun because they're against that. Oh shit. No. Right to the door. Got it. Alright, I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call it there. But that was a good first episode, and I would like to thank you all for watching. Have a pleasant day, and if I do this again, I hope to see you next time.